This is my favorite chair that no one knows about. The Ergohuman series was one of the hottest chairs on the market from 2008 to almost 2015, but when the chair market shifted around 2015 and 16, the Ergohuman series never shifted with it. New premium chairs dropped, and even the all-time classic, the Herman Miller Aeron, was reimagined and reborn as a remastered series in late 2016. But it wasn't until recently the latest Ergohuman LE9ERG Gen2 became available, and wow, it's really good. The build quality differences from the Gen 1 and Gen 2 Ergohuman are fairly significant. They spent a lot of time refining and making this latest version look more sleek and modern. One of the biggest changes from Gen 2 to Gen 1 Ergohuman chairs was in the frame redesign. While subtle, the changes improved contact points with the hard plastic edges on the Gen 1 chair, making the all mesh and now all leather versions much better to sit in for longer periods. To keep this same design from the Gen 2 mesh to the Gen 2 leather, they approached the process for the upholstery quite a bit differently than that original LE9ERG chair. Instead of using thick foam with hard plastic backing, they added leather over that new mesh design and sewed the leather into the actual frame, keeping the experience much similar to the mesh chair. The mechanism upgrade is also significant, going away from that ugly plastic bulb cover to a much more streamlined look with the polished aluminum slim mechanism. The arms and arm pads also saw a nice upgrade from the Gen 1, with a much softer pad and more stable armrests overall. They're even solid through max height. If spending $1,000 on a premium chair is too steep, check out btod.com's line of premium refurbished Steelcase Leap and Amiya chairs. Save over 50% from brand new and still get a 12-year warranty with free returns. Back to the Ergohuman video. If you're looking for an office chair with a nice deep recline and a headrest to take a nap, well, the LE9ERG definitely hits the mark and then some. They have increased the amount of range for recline and changed up how the armrests actually work well reclined as well. Paired with this new headrest, it's pretty incredible. Having full support of your head, neck, shoulders, arms, and lumbar region make it easy to close your eyes and take a little nap for a second. Compared to the original design, where the large gap that formed between the arms only extended itself as you reclined, with a much smoother recline motion overall, this new experience is night and day. They've also added a forward tilt feature on the Ergohuman Gen 2 as well. Now this is really just good for tasking. While not everyone will like it, this is definitely a unique feature that you don't find on every premium chair. The backrest also saw some significant upgrades as well, with the first being more specific to how straight up vertically you're able to sit in the Gen 2 compared to the Gen 1. The original design had a slightly reclined position, which made it easy to use that lower lumbar and sort of skip out on the upper back support. This new design puts the backrest in a more upright overall position for tasking, providing much better full back support, hitting your shoulders and lower lumbar region at the same time. One of the most significant changes in the lumbar support is how you actually are able to fine-tune how aggressive it pushes up against your back. They've added a tension dial built into the lumbar system that will reduce or increase the tension depending on how much lower support you really want. Now, I personally really love this feature, and it is a significant upgrade over the automatic adjustment that the original chair had. Of course, you're still able to adjust the height of the upper backrest with a newly introduced ratchet system for a lot more range than the previous 4 pre-selected options. Now, this is great for getting that lumbar right where you want it into your lower to lower mid back. The last change in the back that I noticed is in the actual headrest itself. Just a slight tweak of the placement has allowed for it to stay out of the way when not in use and be easily used when you want to. Great for reclining, this feature fits right in the curve of your neck and is excellent for head and neck support. The armrests on the original Gen 1 LE9ERG have changed quite a bit over time. Now, the latest arms on the Gen 2 do include a 4th dimension, which is with adjustment. Now, while there is some adjustment here, it's only about ½ inch, so it's maybe not great for smaller users, as it might not be able to get those arms close enough to your body. But the change that they did make might actually help fix this lack of width adjustment, and that is the extremely large pivot adjustment range. Now, they pivot so far inward that it almost looks like you're locked into your seat, and it reminds me a lot of the gesture when positioned this way. Now, if you're a gamer or plan to use an iPad, this can be a great feature for proper support while seated in the chair. Ergohuman has also upgraded their arm pads as well. We are talking easy S-tier material here, with only the Aeron arm pads maybe offering a deeper and softer squish on their pads. Still having a hard time picking out the best chair for you? Check out our office chair comfort guide linked in the description to help you narrow your search. The final and maybe biggest change from Gen 1 to the Gen 2 Ergohuman leather is in the seat design. Because of the overall frame shape or design, allowing for a flatter sit across the middle to back sections of the seat and also a much improved waterfall front for the front edge, this new seat does a much better job eliminating awkward pressure points. In order to keep the suspension feeling and that great shape of the seat overall, they decided to upholster the leather over the top of the mesh, including a nice thin layer of padding to soften up the overall experience when compared to the mesh upholstery. Now, in my opinion, this change with the leather over the mesh across the entire chair is nice, but where I find it to be the most comfortable is definitely in the seat. The previous Gen 1 chair had a lot of contour in the seat design and pushed you even higher up in the chair. This new design also eliminates those pressure points that could be felt on the sides of your thighs because of that overall contour. Bottom line, I'm really happy with the end results of the new Gen 2 leather Ergohuman. It gives someone who doesn't necessarily love sitting on a mesh seat an opportunity to experience the Ergohuman series with less pressure from the mesh material and is likely to be the perfect chair for a lot of different users. In fact, this might be my current favorite iteration of the Gen 2 series overall.